Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. If you like the video today, please comment and share it. Please subscribe to our YouTube page, 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. Today, we're going to start our NFL Draft Talk. That's right, it's going to start early. Our 2026 NFL Draft Prospects. And what we're going to do different this year, we're going to talk about an offensive player and a defensive player. And helping me, as your host, Vincent Turner, helping me today is two gentlemen. If don't nobody know the game at a high level, I can't tell you, and don't be jealous. My man, Mr. Joey Clinkscales, by way of the University of Tennessee, drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Scout, GM, is my first guest. The second gentleman, I don't have to say no more, Florida State. 2 Super Bowl rings, one with the San Francisco 49ers, the other one with the Denver Broncos. And he played in the secondary with Leroy Butler, Deion Sanders. I don't have to say no more. So we're going to get this party started. Before we get this party started, we got some breaking news concerning one of our prospects, our producer, the very talented Logan Landers.
Yes, sir, Mr. Turner. Thank you for that. And we did have some breaking news that dropped today while we were filming. And right before the show started here, we have some unfortunate breaking news. And that is that Oklahoma quarterback and one of the men who we're going to talk about here today, John Mateer, he's going to be out for around a month after suffering a broken right hand, which is his throwing hand, in the win against Auburn. Instead, it happened in the first quarter. So he's going to be out for around a month, which shouldn't be much of a distraction against Kent State. But we know they got Texas right around the road for Oklahoma. So some unfortunate news for Oklahoma. We hope that John gets back and fully healthy. But Vincent, that's the breaking news. I'll get the show back to you.
Our two prospects today on the offensive side of the ball is John Mateer, quarterback, University of Oklahoma. And on the defensive side of the ball is Rueben Bain, the University of Miami. So we're going to start with John Mateer first. Mr. Joey Clinkscales, tell us what you love about John Mateer.
Well, let me go into a little background about John. John is a Texas kid. He was like a 4-star prospect that ended up going to Washington State, and he was at Washington State from 2022 to 2024, and he became a full-time starter in 2024. 2023, he was behind this past year's number 1 draft pick, Cam Ward. Okay, but John has always been really efficient. He is athletic. He's got a live arm, I'll call it. He's proficient with his footwork. And when I say proficient, I mean he's got live feet. He's not one of those quarterbacks that's heavy on his feet, that stands up like a statue. He's lightness on his feet. He plays with good lower body balance. He throws the ball easy. He makes quick, sudden decisions. He does a good job of scanning the field and going through his progressions. If it's not there, he doesn't waste time. He goes to the next guy, go to the next guy. But he does a lot of really good things that gives you the appearance of a high-level quarterback. Again, he's able to throw on different platforms, different levels, which is exactly what you want your quarterback to be able to do. He can throw over a linebacker and under a safety if needed. He can throw over a safety's head. When the guy is in man coverage on the outside, he's able to put the ball on the receiver's outside shoulder so he can catch the ball. He does really good things. Now, he'll also get a little erratic because guys that rely on a lot of talent will take chances. So he will take chances and make a mistake from time to time. But there are a lot of things to really like about John Mateer, especially from a footwork perspective, from an arm talent perspective, from a football acumen perspective, and from a grit perspective, because he's not afraid to run the ball, and he runs with a purpose. He's one of those guys that, already in this season, he had 190 yards rushing, and that's including any time he was sacked. So he's probably got more than 190 yards rushing, because if he's been sacked 3 or 4 times, then those yards go against him. So there are a lot of things I like about John. From an RPO perspective, he's able to do that. Very competitive kid. He seems to be he's shown a lot of leadership since he's been at Oklahoma. But again, I like his football acumen. I like a lot of his he moves with ease. His footwork. Again, he's able to throw with his lower body and zip the ball out. I think this guy's going to be a high pick. Even, I don't think the injury to his hand, as long as it's not major, will affect his draft value because he'll play enough games and he'll be seen in all-star games, although he's a junior, so he'll probably declare early. Although there's NIL and, that money's deep, but it's not NFL deep. So he'll probably come out and be a high draft pick. Well, it looked like we lost Vincent for a minute. You want to comment on him?
Yeah, I got him. John Mateer, I'm sad if I'm Washington State. I feel for Washington State because everything
Oklahoma. Yeah.
Oklahoma, I'm sorry. No, Washington State. I feel bad for was it Oklahoma? No. I feel bad for Washington State because Washington State keep losing quarterbacks to the bigger schools.
Yes.
So you know what I'm talking about? They groomed Cam and then Cam went to Miami. Now they groomed John and now John went to Oklahoma. Yes. So I feel at first I want to say, I was like, Washington State is if you need a quarterback, we need to go to Washington State because they putting out them elite guys, boy. Just go to Washington State as far as they last year. 6'1", 224. We saw what he did his first year that he started. I'm looking here right now, 64%, over 3,000 yards. We know they throw the ball at Washington State over there in eastern part of Washington and things like that. This year he's been 67%, like 1,200 yards. Doing a great job. Very unfortunate he got in. So a lot of times when I'm thinking about the NFL, and Joy, I'm saying this, it's a height weight measurement type thing. We was talking about Travis Hunter. And so I look at him and he's 6'1". Now he's a heavy 6'1", not a thick 6'1". He's 224. And so I look at, okay, that's not bad. But then I look at Drew Brees, and here Drew Brees 6 foot 209. So it can be done. You know what I'm talking about? And I look at Baker Mayfield, who came from Oklahoma. He's 6'1", 215. So if anything that can encourage even scouts and things that's recruiting him, I'm talking about wanting to draft him, they can say like, okay, even though he's not 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", because of his skill set, he can still get it done if he's put in the right situations. I look at Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel was 6 foot. You know what I'm talking about? Yep. Heisman Trophy winner and the whole nine. So I think the sky's the limit for him. That young man get healthy as far as his hand. The good thing is that the injury is just a broken hand. It's no good thing about an injury, but if you are to have an injury, he don't have a torn ligament in his shoulder. He don't have a torn ACL. He has something, normally when bones break, they heal even stronger. And so with the hand, I think he'll be fine. But he was having a real fantastic year. Oklahoma's leading up. I don't know who they have backing this young man up, but I know he was one of the spark plugs for the team as they were going. But I think the young man is going to come back when it's time. As long as Oklahoma can keep it together until he get back, I think he's going to have a shot to be a high draft pick in the upcoming year in an NFL draft.
Yeah, it'll be like you said, it'll be really interesting. And the fact that he finished the game this past week is encouraging. It kind of tells you that while he has an injury he needs surgery on, at least he was able to finish the game. It wasn't to the point where they had to bring him out of the game and get it taken care of immediately. So that's encouraging. Again, this kid's got a lot of moxie. He is tough. He's got a lot of moxie. He's got a lot of that you like to have in a quarterback. He plays with a little bit of chip on his shoulder. And like you said, hey, if you need a quarterback, you might need to go to Washington State first before you go anywhere else.
It does show toughness, don't it? And
absolutely.
That's the thing. I mean, we were teaching, us that are coaches, Joe, you know how it is. Thus, as we talking about, you either injured or you hurt.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? And this man, that's broken. You know what I'm talking about? And he still played the whole game, never came out, the whole nine. That's intriguing to the next level. As I say, this man will play through anything. He just won't get a broken nail on his finger and lay on the field for 5 minutes and get carried off on the cart and things. I hate that. I hate that. I hate when they lay on the field, man. I did not lay on the field, man. Get me off here. Everybody watching it. But this young man right here played the whole game. And that shows his toughness. Not only is his skill set, not only is he skilled, he's tough. And that's intriguing to them. Yes.
And that shows leadership.
Yes, that shows leadership. Yep. I'm not coming out of the game.
All the things that position requires.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. We got Mr. Turner back. Let's see. Hold on. Getting him here. Vincent, you back?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah,
loud and clear. Here we go.
Yeah. Yes, I want to apologize to the audience out there. As you know, when you broadcasting on Zoom or StreamYard, these things can happen. Back to you, gentlemen. Mr. Dodge, was you coming in on material?
Oh yeah, you done
Yes.
missed it, man. You done missed it. Me and Joy done put him first round.
Yeah,
Okay.
we already finished it. We got through him.
Yeah, we finished it, bro. We finished
Okay,
it. Yeah.
okay. Y'all gentlemen that did it at a high level. Y'all take over. You what's the gentleman's name?
Rueben Bain Jr.
Take care of him, Mr. Joy. Go ahead.
Rueben Bain Jr. is another junior from he's a local kid from Miami, highly recruited. He looked like his choices were between, he went to Central in Miami, which people that know football in South Florida are familiar with that program. And his choices were between Miami and Florida State. And he settled on Miami. And he's never looked back. He's played every year he's been there. He's a little bit of a tweener. You know, he's 6'3", about he's anytime you see these in a book, he's probably a little shorter than that. But they list him as 6'3" and 275. So he's kind of a tweener between a end, which he plays predominantly, and a 3 technique, which he will go down and play 3, 4-eye from time to time, whichever. But the one thing he is a powerful individual. He gives you that versatility. He's strong. He gets off the ball. He plays with great hand leverage. He's got great lower body strength. Not the most flexible guy in his hips. Not great twitch, but he plays hard. And he's strong, and he plays like you want guys to play. He plays with violent hands. He can bend the edge at times. This year you've seen him do it more than in the past. Actually get his hands on people, rip, drop that shoulder, get around the corner, get flat. So he shows the ability to do that. He's just not a speed rusher. Space kind of gives him problems at times. The closer he is to his man, he's able to defeat a block and get there. And actually, when you see him play in inside at 3 technique or 4-eye, he can control the line of scrimmage versus double teams. You see him play really strong. He's able to get his hands on guys because his lower body is so strong. And again, I'm gonna say this again, he plays with violent hands. As an end, you would like to see those guys play with better arm length, because you like to see those guys. If he's an end, you want to see him set the edge, especially if he's with a team, a 3-4 team, or even a 4-3 team. You want to see that end man on the line be able to play strong, play with leverage, set the edge, protect his outside. And usually the guys with better arm length can do that. But that has not appeared to be an issue for him because, again, I'm going to say this the third time. He plays with violent hands. He is strong. He plays with effort. And then I think it was a Notre Dame game, I believe, where he maybe another game, he got the interception, and he was the third guy over there. But that's just effort to the ball. Effort to the ball. He plays with effort, and you always see effort on tape. Again, he's not the fastest. He's certainly not the twitchiest guy, but he plays a violent game of football. He plays football old school style, like it's supposed to be played.
I'm going to say this when we go to Mr. Dodge, and Mr. Dodge probably know a lot about him. But if you look at all the great Miami defensive linemen, he puts you in the man of Cortez, Russell Maryland, South, Wilfork, McDougal, Joseph. But when I looked at his game, and I'm not an NFL scout or anything like you, Joy, I played in late, Mr. Dodge. I'm an old school guy. But I saw this guy play when I was 6 years old. Tennessee State University, Claude Humphrey. You should know about him, Joey.
Oh, yeah.
The legendary Claude Humphrey. He got a little bit of Fred Dean. You should know about him, Mr. Dodge. You're a 49er. Still a great Fred Dean from Louisiana. Then he got a little bit of Jacob Green out of Texas A&M. Then he got a little of that head slap. I'm not saying he head slapping people, but he got that ability out of that young man that passed away, that played with the Rams. His initials were DJ, Deacon Jones. Back to you, Mr. Dodge, about Rueben Bain.
Well, we know he come from bloodline. Because Toby Bain is his family. And Toby Bain playing at the U when the U was the U. I mean, I'm the era when I played, everybody, Michael Irvin and Brian Blaze and Benny Blaze, and like you said, all those guys, and they had that little tree. They had that little tree going. He's from that. He's from Miami. He's from Dade County. If anybody don't know about the 305, you hear them folks talking about the 305. They play football down there. It's like they born and bred to play it. And you heard Joey talk about Central. Those are the top-notch schools that's down there. Miami Central, Miami Northwestern, St. Thomas Aquinas, American Heritage. He played against them teams. So it was it was Carroll City. Carroll City. You know what I'm saying? Rick Ross, Carroll City, even though he didn't play. Carroll City. Rueben Bain, I look at him, like Joey said, he say 6'3", he might be 6'2", and as he coming from the tradition, because one thing about Chris Ball, man, he's getting that program turned around back into the U when it was the U. I remember when I played, from 85 to 89, and every time we played University of Miami, they always had a lot of their ex-players on the sideline. And now you're seeing that even more now. You see Michael Irvin turning the hurricane siren, turning it all over that when he was playing against Florida and stuff. That gives energy to it. This man is like family to down there. He's trying to bring it back to the old you. You know what I mean? So he's playing with that 6'2", 275. He like a 3 technique to me, or if he's a 3-4 outside guy, I might have to trim up a little bit to be that rush in and be able to drop out. I looked at T.J. Watt. They say T.J. Watt 6'4". I don't know. He might be 6'3" as well. So it's there for him because T.J. Watt, when he was coming out, everybody looked at him, but all his technique and fundamentals was solid. And that's what you see in Rueben Bain. You heard Joey talk about heavy hands and extension and all the passing technique. Look who he's learning from. You think Warren Sapp ain't done took a trip down there? You think Woolfolk and all those great defensive linemen took a trip down there, and knowing that this man here is the name of the Miami Hurricanes, the next one that's coming out, the next great one that's coming out, and then I'm taught him all the different techniques and fundamentals and things like that. We already know he has the mentality. We already know he has the toughness, but what he also has is the tradition and also the athletic ability to be able to do the things that he's taught from the guys that's before him, and also playing that with the U. I see him as a great player coming out. Miami also is playing a good schedule, which allows the scouts to see him go against some of the top players. Mm-hmm. They play not this week, but next week, of course, it's the Florida State-Miami game. Hopefully Florida State take care of Virginia, and both teams will be undefeated. And it'll be like them games when I played, when we both was ranked number 1 and number 2, and then you'll really be able to see in that game the real Rueben Bain, you know what I'm talking about. I think he'll really be able to elevate. Now, I hope he don't against us. I'm rooting for Rueben Bain against everybody against us. Yeah, Rueben, I want you to be fantastic. But not next week, bro. Not next week. I'm saying, but he is a great player, man. And I wish the best for him. I see him going high, man. Like I say, they don't talk about guys, man. They don't think that's going to go and that's going to be exceptional at the next level. You just got to figure out what position he belongs in. You mentioned some great players, Vincent. I played with Cortez Kennedy, I'm talking about in Seattle. He was a man-child, I'm talking about. Played against Vince Wilfork and some of them great players that you're talking about. And for him to be even mentioned with those guys, tell you what type player, because we haven't, you think about it in Miami, when have we ever mentioned a defensive player like that about them? We still talking about Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and the older guys. And now here this guy coming along right now, and it's finally we talking about a defensive player for Miami, which they used to put them out every year, 4 and 5 of them a year. And so I think it's big up to Rueben Bain and his coaching staff and him and his bloodline. Topa Bain, I know him well as far as how he's playing.
He's been coached by a Hall of Famer as well. Jason Taylor is the defensive line coach at Miami. So he's got that bloodline, and he's being coached by a Hall of Famer. So there are a lot of things working in his favor. And he reminds me of a guy a little bit. I'm going to say a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit of a guy that from a size, height, weight, speed perspective of a guy like Cam Jordan, who came out of Cal, who's played in this league for NFL, he's 13, 14 years in.
Yes.
A similar size, down in New Orleans. He's been the anchor of that defensive line. And I think he came out, he was an end when he came out, and I think he still plays end, but he plays some 4 tech and 3 tech as well, depending on the system. But I can see traits in him because again, this guy's not the twitchiest guy,
right?
But he's strong. He plays with effort, violent hands, great lower body strength, although not great hip flexibility, but good ankles because you have to be able to turn. You got to have great ankles to put that fourth, fifth, sixth step in the ground and flatten to get downhill to get to the quarterback. And he's shown more of that this year than he did in the past. And he looks like he's in better shape.
Yep. I like him. Joey, I like him in a 3-4 system. I think he'll fit better. I don't think he's big enough.
3-4 in, yeah.
Yeah, 3-4 in. I think he could really be a good 3-4 in. Drop, come, rush, twist, all those different things to be able to help him fall like that. Playing for Baltimore, them teams that run them 3-4 as far as on that. I really can see him like that. I don't see him as a true 3 technique like a Cortez Kennedy.
Correct.
You see what I'm talking about down there where you got to handle double teams and split them, and them boys big down.
Right, and you can do it in college, you can't do it in the NFL.
No, not in the NFL. That's we talked before, like about Travis, man. Listen, this ain't college, bro. This boy's big up here for real. They boy 190 for real, so he could get to go against them guys. Boy, look at all them linemen 300 and above. They ain't like college. You might get no, they all are. But one thing about him, what I'm saying? I think the NFL teams will see that. But right now, the sky's the limit for him. And like you said, he is surrounded by greatness. You know what I'm saying? Because I know, being that I graduated from Florida. I'm from Jersey, but I graduated in the state of Florida. I know like the tradition and the fanfare of the Miami Hurricanes and their fans and their alumni. They're really close, and they want the U to be the U. And here they got one of their fellas, one of their own. I'm talking about one of their own that's been there from high school now. We're not talking about somebody that like Cam that came from Washington State. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, he ain't mine, but he ain't mine. No, this man here came from high school there. He's a traditional U guy and he bloodline. So I look for the best for him.
Man, what can I say? As I listen to these two gentlemen, and I got to put it out there today, I listened to a lot of NFL draft prospect shows in the past. My producer, Logan Landis, knows this because we've been doing this for like 6-7 years, NFL draft prospects. This is what I'm talking about. The knowledge, the excitement, there's energy from two former guys that done this at a high level. That's why I say when you talk about the draft, you go to people who've done this, lived this, and been successful at this. So when we get the NFL draft stuff really started, I want to all you draft experts, even you people on ESPN and all over, remember, get you one that played at a high level and also scouted at a high level. It's Royalty here today with our first NFL draft prospect show. I'm excited. I can't say I'm more proud of these two young men, one from my great state, Tennessee. I'm from the 901. He's from the 865. I hope I got it right. The other gentleman from the
I'm
Florida.
I'm 8'6'3". I'm 8'6'3". That's Polk County. Polk County, Florida. 8'6'3".
And all I'm gonna say, we're gonna have fun this season. Final words, Mr. Clean Scales, about our two prospects today.
Well, I think both of these guys would be high picks in the 2026 draft if they choose to come out, and I don't see why they wouldn't at this point. Again, they've had a career to be proud of again, and John has got an injury, unfortunately, and he'll be back, and I hope he plays after the Tennessee game, not before. And Rueben, he's a man child. He's a man child. So it'll be interesting to follow these guys through the process and see how it goes. But the tape doesn't lie. You can lie to me. I can lie to you. The tape don't lie. The tape will tell you exactly what he is, how he plays. So I'm excited to see these two guys move forward.
Mr. Dodge, your final words on these two prospects we highlighted today.
If Mr. John Mattel wasn't elite, he wouldn't be at Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? So they saw something even before we saw it. And like I said, it's unfortunate with his hand injury, but what he's shown so far this year has been NFL ready. You know what I'm talking about? Is as far as being going in there. Not as tall, like I'm saying, if I was a scout, as I would like, but we know that the height, you know what I'm saying, don't make the dog is in the man as far as on that. And we've seen that he has those type abilities that he's out there. I look at Rueben. Joey, I just pulled up just right now. You know, I played with a guy named Ricky Jackson that used to be with the Saints.
Oh, yeah.
And he was on the down
Absolutely.
years. He
Number
came,
57.
yes, number 57. And he was at San Fran during his downtime and still was dominant, undersized. I'm looking at him. He was 6'2", 243. Matter of fact, he's from South Florida. They call it Pahokee. He from the Muck down there. That's still South Florida. He from the Muck, but 243. So I'm sitting there. I was sitting there thinking about Rueben Bain trying to time to somebody. And I was like, hey, Ricky Jackson. But Ricky Jackson was a tough dude. You know what I'm talking? Ricky Jackson didn't wear no pads. All he put the shoulder pads on because they made him. Other than that, in the helmet. Other than that, Ricky Jackson didn't wear no pads, no tape on his sleeve, no knee pads, no nothing, and just was out there straight baller. Kind of like you said, Rueben Bain kind of has. I ain't saying he Ricky Jackson, but he kind of has that kind of nastiness about him. You know what I'm saying? Not as tall, but good pass rushing skills, good run skills when he punches and gets off on the guy. I kind of can see him like that. I just think the sky's the limit for both of these guys. I just think they need to stay the course. You know, I'm talking about staying humble and stay the course. And I think stay healthy. I know it's kind of hard with that. And I think the sky's the limit for them.
If you like the video today, please come in and share it. Please subscribe to our YouTube page, 100 Yards Football Sports Talk Radio. Thank you, Mr. Joey Clinkscales. Thank you, Mr. Dietrich Dodge. And thank you to our producer who made it happen today. Let's give him a lot of love and clap, Mr. Logan Landers. Y'all be blessed, as we're going to be back next week with an offensive prospect and a defensive prospect, the 2026 NFL Draft. Y'all be blessed.